What's up, guys? We're back here with Archeworld. A big ocean update has happened, and let's get into the gist of this. So it's been approximately a day and a half now, almost 2 days, and so we've digested this. XL Games has seen the feedback. The feedback has been overwhelming negative on the ocean patch, in part because there's just not that much to do actively, right? So the ocean released, we have boats, and now we have access to the sea, which was always here, but there's monsters, quote unquote, in here. But unfortunately, there's actually only about 5 monsters that we have found in the entire world, and they are right here in this middle island. The monsters also have a very long spawn rate of somewhere between 30 minutes and like 4 hours. We're still figuring out the data and information on these things, whether it's, random spawns or if they spawn every couple game hours or who knows what. But for the gist, there's 5 raid boss monsters here that are either ancestral level 14 or ancestral level 15 that players will need to kill. These raid bosses are not that difficult. You will need probably around a 50-man raid right now to kill them because they're such a high ancestral level. That means most players will not be hitting them. Players that have around a 61, 62 combat level should be able to hit them for the most part, and the higher you go, obviously the better your attack and damage and DPS will be on those guys. The whole purpose of killing these new monsters in the ocean is to actually get, this is what the new monsters look like here, like a shark thing, then we got this bird thing over here, there's a fish, and a few others, like I said. So the whole point of killing these monsters is that they drop a couple of trade packs. So they'll drop this kind of trade pack, or they'll drop a fish trade pack, and they're only going to drop a few, like, 2 or 3 from this monster. There's also other loot, I believe, that comes out of him. I personally have not killed the monster yet, so take that all with a grain of salt, but I believe there is other loot that comes out of this as well. These trade packs, though, are blue archium turn-in packs. So you're going to take these guys, and you're going to take them to an NPC vendor in one of the ports, or also on some of the islands. There's vendors on islands that you can turn these guys into. So you turn these guys into, and they'll give you the new currency, which is called blue archium. Blue archium is also one of the reasons why people universally hate this patch as of now. Almost all of the new crafting recipes require blue archium. So they're essentially saying the red archium is not really worth too much anymore, and that you're going to need this blue archium to progress your boats and stuff. Red archium still holds a lot of value though, but people are not looking at that. Red archium is still used to increase your equipment score. It's also used to increase your ancestral levels. So if you want to go up to ancestral level 1, you need a lot of red archium. If you want to improve your gear from tier 4 to tier 5, you still need to feed your gear with red archium. And they did release a tier 7 weapons and armors, so that's going to require millions of archium, red archium, to get up there. So character, you go to character and equipment enhancements here, and you can see they have the illustrious awakening scroll, which is going to be used to make that tier 7 weapons and armors. So red archium is still valuable, but there's been a massive panic in the game, and archium prices have been plummeting down to next to nothing. So the shards are still holding up at a very high value. I think these things need to go down, because with shards at 12 BSLT for 10k stacks, the completed archium, the 10,000 BSLT here, is 30. And now when you do take away 12 for the fee, that's going to put you down your profit down to around 18. And then you also have to factor in the labor cost, which is associated with crafting this, which is currently right around 12. Now you're down to 6 profit. And then you also then have to factor in the selling cost fee, which is 3. So for every 10,000 archium that you're creating, if you're buying the archium shards at 12 and you're selling it for 30, you're only making approximately 3 BSLT per 10,000 stack of a house. So it's not very good, right? So people are very, very upset. Like I said, it's an overreaction on this archium. Most people aren't doing archium machines anymore, which is probably correct for most people if they don't have an abundance of labor set up because if you're just trying to make the rent and trying to generate enough BSLT from just basic machines and houses, it's not going to work anymore. You're going to need to actually do other activities like planting crops around your house to actually earn that BSLT to have the houses. So this ties into the other fact. People are upset because they have, 10 houses, 20 houses, and now they can't pay all the rents. This update also added a Lumina system, which serves no purpose besides sending it off to hunt out the basic and grand ship components. These are special rare drops that you get from sending out your pets, the Lumina, and then also you need a boat. So this is where problems arise. In order to make the boat, people had to invest a lot more resources and money into crafting these boats. You couldn't use the old rowboats. You actually had to craft a brand new boat. So this one right here is the cheapest one, and it required 4 blue shadowgun crystals and a finishing touches and 10,000 red archeum. So this blue crystals actually saw a massive spike all the way up to 100 BSLT on the American servers. Probably very similar on the Asian servers as well. And now it is currently right around 40 BSLT for a blue shadowgun crystal, which is just insane. You can see thousands and thousands of these guys have been selling in the last couple of days, and the massive spike was on the original day one when someone bought the entire auction house out. It looked like got it all the way up to that 99 BSLT. Then they had settled right around 40 BSLT, and we're still around that 40 BSLT today. But people are needing and have to have this rare shadowgun crystals. And this is also pushing up the green shadowgun prices, which this is why it's more profitable to now plant crops and actually harvest the crops and then turn them into shadowgun ore and open up these things and get them. So these things are up to like 2.4 BSLT, have creeped all the way up to 8 BSLT at the highest on the American server, or 8.8 it shows here. So these things, just insane price, because you use them to convert into blues, and then they're also used in several other crafting recipes. There's several different ships as well, but going up further, the merchant ship has a requirement of 10 blue shadowgun crystals, 30 red archeum, and then also you need the ship components, the blueprints. These are acquired mainly from sending out the Lumina and the rowboat to get these things from your house. You also need a Vocation tome, which is a very cool item that is earned by turning those blue salt, the village vouchers, these village vouchers that you got from houses activities, the spending labor. You can turn these guys into village vouchers or into Vocation tomes at a rate of one per village voucher. So we go Vocation, and you can see they are also crafted with blue archeum as well. So if you don't have any village vouchers, if you weren't doing your house daily activities, then you're going to have to craft them with blue archeum. But I'd say most people have these Vocation tomes. You're also going to get a bunch of these guys from the new ranking system if you are in the top 100 for farming activities. So farming activities now give Vocation points, and you can put yourself on the leaderboards and score BSLT rewards. So this is a cool feature of the update. If you are a farmer, you can actually get rewarded more for farming. And now harvesting all your crops is actually more profitable. Like I said, the skin, the logs, the iron have all become more valuable in this update since more people are making shadowgun ores and requiring that shadowgun ores. So just like the arena rankings, you have 800 BSLT for first place, you have 400 BSLT for second and third, you have 300 BSLT for fourth and fifth, and so forth down. You also get some other bonus rewards. If you click on this, you can see the bonus rewards here. You're going to get a new title, a Vocation Expert. You're going to get this seal, which is going to have that glowing aura on your name if you're first and second and third on the server. And then you're also going to get like 1,016 of the wrapped Vocation tomes, for crafting other items and upgrading your Lumias and upgrading your ships and building ships. Second and third are also going to get a lot 830 and so forth, all the way down to the top 100 who are going to end up getting 60 of these things. So they are quite common and they are going to be very easy to get. And this is just a bonus reward for doing farming activities that you were already here. But giving us a way to actually use these village vouchers is cool. There's also another way to use these village vouchers called Dawn's Drop. Dawn's Drop equipment will get you more Vocation badge points. So you use 5 of the village vouchers, turn them in, and 1,000 red archium to turn them into this pouch. The pouch will either get you a level 1 or level 2 Dawn's Drop shovel, which is a weapon that you can equip on your character. The Dawn's Drop shovel will have a bonus Vocation game points. You can see right here we've opened up quite a few of these guys, and we got a tier 2 one that actually has a green substat, which is 110% increase. I've seen the increases all range from 20% to 130% depending on the substat there. So Vocation and crop harvesting is now actually more profitable if you want to do that. You do have to make sure that you register yourself at the vendor in town where you just register your combat score and your gear level, just like that, to get on those leaderboards. So make sure that you do that every single week. But let's jump back into the Lumina system here. So Lumia and a boat, you get this. And depending on the size of your house, depends on how many times you can send out your Lumia multiple times. You need to have multiple Lumias and you need to have multiple ships. So this is a large house, which means we can send out 3 ships and 3 Luminas at the same time. We only have 2 ships built currently right now. We have the normal one, so we have the basic one, and then we have this pirate cat. Each Lumina only has a certain tab that they can go into. So this one is for a normal fishing, and you can only put it into the normal fishing. Over here on the sports fishing one, we have a pirate cat, and this one is only for sports fishing. So you have to open up these Luminas and put the correct pets in the correct slot, and then you also have to get the correct boat. So this one requires a fishing boat because you're doing sports fishing. So in order to access this, you need to have a sports fishing Lumina, and you also need to have the sports fishing boat. Or, I should say the fishing boat. It's incredibly complex, and that's why people were so angry and upset, because not only are the boats expensive to craft, but it is a weird system where you open up a pet, which you get from the Blue Salt shop right now. Blue Salt shop is doing an event where you can actually get a bunch of these Luminas for 2,000 red archium. But normally you're going to be crafting them with blue archium. But since no one has blue archium, they gave out this event. So you pick up these event Luminas. You're going to open this up, and you're hoping to get actually a tier 5 Lumina. You can get all the way up to tier 5. It goes from tier 1 to tier 5. I've only gotten 1 tier 2 Lumina on my 3 accounts by opening up these things, so it's incredibly rare. But anyone that does get a tier 5 Lumina will be making tons and tons of BSLT, because that gives you way better results out of this deployment. So you want to have higher Lumina rankings. You can also upgrade your Luminas as well, but that once again requires blue archium. Blue archium is the most coveted resource in the game as of now. Over time, this blue archium will become easier and easier to get because it drops again off of those mobs in the ocean for trade packs. It also drops off of the Delphinod ghost ships. So yeah, there's a thing. There's a ghost ship. There is enemy NPC ships that are now sailing around the ocean, and you kill them, and when you kill enough of them, then the mighty Kraken will actually appear and be killable for the world. So that is a cool thing. We didn't expect the ghost ships to appear, but no one can do the ghost ships yet because you need to have a clipper, which the clipper requires tons and tons of resources, and or a warship, which once again requires more and more resources. So the clipper requires 16 rare crystals, and then it also requires 30 of these rare grand ship blueprint fragments. The only way to get these is by sending your Luminas off on missions with that ship. And these are rare procs, so you're going to have to wait a long time to get a whole bunch of these or buy them off the auction house. And then it also uses a bunch of those vocation tomes that you get from using those village vouchers that we talked about. Also requires 50,000 archium. And so once you do this, then you can go ahead and buy a cannon and make a cannon now. A cannon is going to cost the green shotguns, and then a basic ship fragment, which once again is acquired through sending the Lumina out on missions. So pretty much everyone was upset because the systems were complex and it was not user friendly. I don't know why they made the systems this complex. They definitely should have simplified a lot of things, and then the cost associated with a lot of stuff was kind of large. I don't really like this update, but they have done a hot fix and have actually patched this with the Blue Salt shop, adding 5 Luminas now per day that you can do in per character. So that is a nice way to get a bunch of Luminas. And then also there's a shop item to get the green shotgun crystals. So you can get 10 green shotgun crystals, or potentially with a rare chance of a rare or an arcane or heroic crystal for 10,000 red archium. So most likely you're going to get 10 green crystals, which isn't terrible. If 10,000 archium is approximately 30 BSLT, the green crystals are approximately around 25 BSLT, which means you lose approximately 5 BSLT with the chance of actually opening up a rare one or an arcane one or a heroic one. So this is actually not a terrible item to pick up, and I do recommend picking this up. But obviously you can do whatever you want with your resources. I just think that is a decent thing to buy. So, summary, there is a lot of passive content that needs to be crafted and needs to be sent off, which people don't like. Once you've sent this off, you claim the rewards, and now that's going to go to your mailbox. So, we're going to get the base reward of blue archium, and then we're also potentially going to get some of those rare rewards. So, let's go check out our mailbox to see what we actually got. The mail that you get is a Master, I'm home from dispatch. It's kind of cool. And you can see we got 234 blue archium. And then we got 4 of these debrises, which aren't used for anything right now, but they do sell for a vendor for a decent amount of gold. I would recommend holding on to them because they do say that nothing, that it's going to be used for things in the future potentially. So used for things related to normal fishing. So I would probably take that and hold on to it. Then the other one, what do we get here? So once again, this one, because we used a fishing boat, we got better blue archium. We got 455, and then we also got 4 of these debris from sport fishing. So we'll go ahead and claim that. Our bag is full. Let's go ahead and put that on there. So one of the cool things is that if your bag is full, you can go ahead and just throw things up on the auction house, and then it'll sit in your mailbox storage for 90 days. So you can free up inventory slots that way by just throwing things on the auction house. All right, so let's go send off the Luminas for another batch. Well, actually, let's open up our new Luminas to see if we got anything better, because right now we just have tier 1 Luminas, and we definitely do want tier 2s if we can get it. So another bad thing too with the Luminas is you can't destroy them. You have to convert them to little crystals, and those things are going to cost 5 gold. So there's a lot of gold sinks, there's a lot of item and resource sinks in this patch. So we come over here to General Merchant. Here's the Lumina Liberation Stone. So we're going to go grab this. We're going to grab 3 of them. So 5 gold per. We're going to click on it, and then we're going to go ahead and destroy these Luminas so we can get these fragments. And we can use these to try to upgrade these Luminas. So the Luminas are very similar to shotguns. You need to have 4 of the fragments. You need to take those with blue archium, and then you can upgrade them. So let's see. So here are the fragments, and then you also need that Vocation tomb, and you need 500 blue archium, so it's very expensive, and then 500 labor, and you could potentially make a tier 2, but most of the time it's simply going to be a tier 1. So just like shotguns, you're going to be upgrading, and eventually hit a tier 2. Tier 2, same thing. You're going to take 4 and 1 and 500 and so forth. So this is a way to burn a lot of blue archium. Another thing we didn't touch upon, the Lumina actually needs energy to work. So in order to get the energy, you have to spend red archium. So every energy is 1 archium. So 1,000 red archium will get you 1,000 energy. Without the energy, the Lumina actually does nothing. So once again, more complications to the system, but once you get the gist of it, it's not too bad. At the current low level, with just the rowboat and the Lumina at level 1, you're getting approximately 50% of your archium converted into blue archium, and then also the chance to get ship components. The ship components are very expensive and worth a ton of money. So that's what people are missing out on right now, is that houses are still actually valuable, but it's all about ship blueprints. If you get a ship blueprint, you're going to be making 20 to 30 BSLT off of the basic one, and then the rare versions are right around like 50 BSLT for rare blueprints, at least on the North America server. Obviously, the prices will change, and there is one little cool thing that can happen. You have a ARC Pass, which is available to everyone, and the ARC Pass will get you a lot of resources for very little investment. So you can see the first anniversary ARC Pass here. You're going to get 500 blue archium for activating the ARC Life, which is making it 1,000. And then once you get level 2, you're going to get 9 of these ship blueprints. So right there, you're going to get a lot of value. If you can sell these for 20 BSLT each, that's already 180 BSLT right there. And again, for those that don't know, the ARC Pass is staking. You put down 1,000 BSLT, and once you finish all of these missions, you get that 1,000 BSLT back. So these are all essentially free rewards that you get for playing the game. So right here, you're going to get 180. If the price stays the same, another 180, and then another 180, another 180. So you're looking at almost 1,000 BSLT in these ship blueprint fragments off of this ARC Pass, plus all the other things, plus the shotgun crystals, plus the blue archium. This ARC Pass is incredibly valuable and is a must get for any player that is playing the game. If you're not getting this, you're going to fall behind with this stuff, and the prices of these things are going to drop dramatically, right? So the blue basic ship fragments probably will get down to like 5 BSLT in a few days or so, is my guess. But right now, they're worth 20 to 30 BSLT. So unlocking those and then getting the ships that you need and then selling off the rest is a great idea here. Or just farming it for BSLT. If you're trying to make BSLT and play this as a play-to-earn game, that's how you want to do it right now, is through the ARC Pass. The houses will also give you BSLT if you do a lot of Lumina sendings. So we've got this right here. We're going to go ahead and send this off. Now you have options of where to send it off. So you want to make sure it's like 100% success rate. This is the bonus rare encounter. These are the rare rewards. So you want to have a high rare reward. That's all going to be based on the stats of your Lumina and the stats of your boat. You could upgrade your boat to get better stuff. You could upgrade your Lumina to get better stuff. So this one midway, you can see it's only a 90% chance, and then you only have a 10% chance to get bonus rare items. It's bad. You don't want that. You want to have a higher chance to get these things, because these things are worth a lot of money. The time to send out as you go further also increases, so it's 30 minutes and 15 seconds. And then lastly, you have a far one, which time increases, chance goes down, and the rare encounter rate goes down because our pets are too weak. You will get more blue archium for doing this if you succeed. If you fail and you don't succeed, which you're going to fail most of the time, you're going to get absolutely nothing on that. So recommend doing the 100%. You can do this however many times that you want. Again, it's going to take the energy down below. You can see energy here cost. So 481. And if you remember back in our mailbox, we ended up getting around 220 blue archium. So like I said, around 50% of your red archium, which is the cost right here, gets converted into blue archium. And then you also have the chance of actually getting ship components. So overall, the value is there. People just are not doing the housing activities. You click this dispatch, and it's going to tell you, are you sure? You cannot cancel it once it's dispatched. The building will not be refunded the dispatch cost if you demolish it. You're like, okay, confirm. And now you go to your next one. And you can only do the second one if you have a bigger house than a tent. On a tent, you can only do one, but it's perfectly fine though, because most players are only going to be able to make the rowboat for now, because the other ones are very, very expensive, requiring 10 blue shotguns and also some more ship fragments. So tents are incredibly valuable right now. People don't understand this, and they're missing out. So this one, we need to open up our Luminas. Oops. We were supposed to open up our Luminas to see if we got any tier 2 ones. So another tier 1, another tier 1, another tier 1, and another tier 1. So we didn't get anything else. But each have a stat. So let's see if we got a better stat Lumina here. We also need sports fishing. So this one is normal fishing, which goes into the basic one. This is normal fishing, and you can see different stats. So this one is a normal fishing ability 61, and this one is a normal fishing ability 68. So obviously you want the higher powered one. You don't want the 61, you'd rather have the 68. That's going to get you better rewards. This one's a 62, and this one's a 64. So this is a sea hunt, this is a normal fishing, and normal fishing. So those are all for fishing boats, normal fishing. So we're going to go back here and do this one off. Select this. So 63, 10% bad. We don't want to do that. We want to do 100% with 20% chance, and then dispatch. You see, this one costs more because we're using our fishing boat, and it is sports fishing. Sports fishing costs more. Salvage costs more, and sea hunt will cost more, is my assumptions as well. So once again, that's going to burn off a lot of archium and convert that into blue archium. Again, around that 50% rate. We don't know if the chances will go up higher. 20% seems to be the max on the rare rewards. So if you're just looking for rare rewards, doing the tents and the normal fishing is going to be probably the best way to do this. But no one really knows what they're doing right now. So that's why it's taken a couple days to do a video, because there's so much stuff involved, and we want to try to bring the most accurate, correct information that we can to you without causing problems or issues down the future. But there is still a lot to learn and discover, which is part of the reason why you play the game. If everything was already figured out and solved for you, there would be no reason to really play the game. You play the game for fun and discovery is fun. So, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry for the long video. Hopefully this clears up some things for you. If you have any questions, post them down in the comment section. We'll try to answer as many as possible. I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.